What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be looking at some potential trade packages and landing spots for Andre Drummond, courtesy of Bleacher Report. And shout out to Greg Swartz for publishing this pretty cool article. I have not looked through it yet, so this will be my first time going through and seeing who Bleacher Report thinks we could get for Andre Drummond. Now, I'm sure there's going to be, a package in here that makes me just question what the heck were these guys on when they wrote this article, but we'll see what happens. This is why I like, looking through these articles, because you never know what they're going to put in here, So with that being said, let's get right into it. Of course, some background information. Drummond, over the past couple weeks, has been the subject of trade talks with multiple teams. In fact, earlier today, it was reported that the Cavs and the Raptors were talking about a possible Drummond trade. And it's gotten to the point now where the Cavs have actually come out and said that they're not going to be playing Andre Drummond pretty much until he gets traded. So his time as a Cavalier is running out. His days are numbered. And you talk to any Cavs fan right now about this, and they tell you, yeah, get the heck out of here. The quicker we get him out of here, the better. Because I'll tell you one thing, his effort as of late hasn't really been there, especially in that Blazers game. Whoo-wee, man. There was a play. I don't know if you guys have seen it. This dude was asked to simply set a screen. And this dude acted like, he's like, I don't want to do it. Nah. He kind of looked like he was putting out very minimal effort at times. Now, at the beginning of the year, this dude was beasting. I mean, when he's on his A game, he's a walking double-double. But we haven't seen him on his A game as of late. It's almost like he just wants out of here. And honestly, I wouldn't blame him. I mean, we kind of don't want him here either. He does some really baffling things. Sometimes he thinks he's a point guard, which he's clearly not. So, he'll make mistakes, and that'll cost us games. I mean, I don't know how many times this dude's turned the ball over trying to dribble. And then, of course, he got his funky shots he puts up. I mean, bro, now I see why Pistons fans didn't really like him that much. They literally warned us about him, and we're like, nah, he'll be fine. Well, now it's like, damn, they were right. For real. So, anyways, let's take a look and see what trade packages Bleacher Report came up with. And the first team on the list is the Charlotte Hornets. And their trade package would be Andre Drummond going to Charlotte for Malik Monk, Cody Zeller, and Bismack Biyombo. Now, this would be very interesting because, as you know by now, we have Jared Allen and JaVale McGee. Now, everyone assumes that McGee will be traded prior to the deadline, and I think he will be too. So let's say this happens, we get rid of McGee, so that means you'd still have Allen, Biyombo, and Zeller. Now, most likely what would happen is we would either buy out Zeller or Biyombo or just straight up buy them both out. And then keep Monk, because Monk is actually not bad. He's pretty good. I mean, he's having a good year. And, get rid of Drummond, bring in Malik Monk. I wouldn't hate that too much. Maybe we keep Biyombo or Zeller. I wouldn't hate this trade, to be honest with you. Now, the next deal is the Dallas Mavericks. And this trade package would have us sending Drummond to the Mavs in exchange for center Dwight Powell, power forward James Johnson, and a 2021 and 2022 second-round pick. Now, this would be interesting. Again, bring in Powell, probably trade away McGee. That means your centers for the foreseeable future would be Powell and Allen, which that'd be pretty good. You'd have James Johnson most likely backing up Larry Nance if and when we get rid of Kevin Love. And if not, you have a pretty formidable core at the power forward position. Maybe even go small ball. You could even put James Johnson at the 4, Kevin Love at the 5, or Larry at the 5. That wouldn't be too bad. And then, of course, 2 more second-round picks. I completely wouldn't hate this trade either. So far, BR has put up some pretty good trades. Usually the trades they put up here has me like, huh? The heck are they on, bro? Next, we got the New York Knicks. Now, this is a very interesting trade because this is a 3-team deal where we send Drummond and a 2021 second-round pick via the Mavs to the Knicks. The Mavs would receive Alec Burks, Frank Ntilikina, and Reggie Bullock from the Knicks. And then we would get Kevin Knox from the Knicks, James Johnson from the Mavs, and a 2024 second-round pick from the Mavs. Again, this trade would not be bad. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't hate it. You know, maybe Kevin Knox turns up and, you know, with a new squad, and James Johnson, well, he's a force, you know. You love it. So far, yeah, Bleacher Report's putting up some good trade ideas. Love to see it. Next, we got the San Antonio Spurs. And in this trade, okay, Drummond to the Spurs for LaMarcus Aldridge and a 2021 second-round pick. Okay, Drummond is on the older side, 35 years old, 2021 second-round pick. I mean, Aldridge isn't a complete bum. He can play both power forward and center. I don't know if this trade would even really be like looked at. I honestly wouldn't do this trade. You know, we're trying to get younger a little bit, and Aldridge wouldn't really fit the timeline. You know. But yeah, like this article says, Aldridge doesn't make sense as a long-term piece. We could, you know, flip him to a contender, talking about Aldridge, or eventually agree to a buyout. Yeah, that could happen too. And, I mean, Aldridge, like I said, he isn't trash. He's just old, you know. And he's also sidelined with a hip injury. Right, yeah, let's trade for an injured player. Bruh, seriously. And then the final partner would be the Raptors. And, of course, the Raptors were talking to the Cavs earlier about a potential trade. Haven't heard anything as of late. As far as I know, they're still talking, but we'll see what happens. Now, in this trade, we would send Drummond to the Raptors. The Nuggets would jump in and take Norman Powell, Aaron Baines, Stanley Johnson, and Patrick McCaw. Essentially the package that a lot of people think we could get. And then we would get Gary Harris from the Nuggets and a 2021 first-round pick, lottery protected via Denver. Now, I'm pretty sure that would mean that we would get that pick. So, yeah, that would be a pretty good trade, you know. The only thing is Gary Harris, you know, the money thing. Yeah, we would lose out on $20 million in cap space by bringing in Harris. But maybe, you know, maybe like Knox, possibly. Maybe Harris would experience a bit of a resurgence. I don't know. But, I mean, getting rid of Drummond would be nice. We just need to get rid of him, in my opinion. No doubt about it. You know, but, yeah, that's it for the, you know, locations and the packages. So, overall, Bleacher Report came up with some pretty logical trade packages, you know, and I could see these possibly happening, but I think the most likely one to happen is probably the Raptors, although I don't know if it's going to be exactly like that. I could see it where we get what Denver would be getting in that package idea. You know, I don't know if it'll be a 3-team deal. I could see a 3-team deal, you know, happening, especially, you know, if they're trying to make money match. But, you know, we'll see what happens. But that's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Of course, I'll be live later tonight for Cavs and Warriors. Hope you guys tune in. I hope we don't embarrass ourselves tonight. You know, we've been looking pretty bad as of late. I just want a decent game from the guys. But we'll see what happens. So that's going to wrap it up. I'm Crazy Dog 99. And I'll see you tonight. Let's go Cavs. And I'm out.